Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoin Guides, bringing my guide for God Hand on hard difficulty. Today we're doing stage 3-3 entitled Shannon's Dance School. At the very beginning of this level, I like to grab this box here. It always has a set spawn of an RPG spawning in it, so bear that in mind. The other box I don't think has a set spawn for anything specific, but usually that one, sorry about the squeaky chair, usually for that one it always tends to spawn an RPG. And I'll be using that for very specific moments. So right now, I'm trying to get these two away from the civilian, so I can kind of fight them by themselves. This is pretty much just going to be this very beginning part is going to be mostly just me trying to prioritize very specific enemies. And this move right here, this somersault move, I'm doing only just to get them pretty much just up in the air, so I can do like a kick and get them away, to kind of try to, you know, deal with one at a time, that sort of thing, or just do some extra bit of damage, basically. And I guess at the same time, even try to be a show-off. You know, so I have no idea why my chair is so damn squeaky. I guess, you know, being 400 pounds doesn't help very much now, does it? Alright, so I took out those guys, and you have plenty of time to save the civilians, thankfully. This game's really nice with that type of thing. But, unfortunately, in order to get him away, just in general, I have to at least just, you know, go up near him and get them off of him. But yeah, either way, you know, seeing what I'm doing right now, I'm pretty much just taking out, once again, one guy at a time, not worrying about trying to fight too many group fights here, let the guys just dance, that kind of thing, and, you know, get a nice orb spawn that I can use for later for a potential chain yank, most likely. I do end up getting a demon to spawn later in the level, which is annoying, because I hate when that happens, because you have a really good run, and then one spawns in, and it just ruins everything. Especially in Mirage, or whatever it's called, Stage 7, the Mirage thingy before. It's the one with, like, the little pillars you gotta break. That crap pissed me off. I don't remember if that was actually in the run that I did for the recording or not, if that was the actual run that I did win, but my lord. There were so many demon spawns going on in that stage. It was like, come on. But anyway, yeah, so just taking out one guy at a time. And there's going to be quite a bit of enemies that are going to appear. By the way, health does not matter as much. I understand that it seems really weird to say that for a lot of people. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Of course health matters. Like, you take a hit, you're done, man. Yeah, but when you play these games enough, not just like God Hand specifically, but any game, any hack and slash, any beat 'em up, when you play these types of games just enough, you start to learn that at the end of the day, as long as I don't get a hit, it doesn't matter how much health I have, because I can eat a reset. It's not like it's a big deal, you know, depending on the situation. Yeah, I want to have full health all the time, so just in the off chance that an attack does hurt me, of course I want health. I'm not saying that I don't, but it's a psychological thing you really have to get yourself into, and something you really shouldn't have to worry about. Also, speaking of psychological effects, that messes up my brain and pisses me off something fierce whenever I end up getting, you know, a box to hit both enemies at the same time. I don't know how that's even possible. And also another psychological error effect to me right now is these stinking needle demons. I don't know what they're actually called, but the needle ones. They're not actually that hard to deal with. Thankfully, they're probably the easiest demon, I think, to deal with, because a lot of their moves can be backdashed, because they have this AoE spike ball thing that they do, this hedgehog move thing they do, where essentially all you have to do to avoid that is just backdash, and then it's just pretty much easy from there. And of course with this, it's just like a side dodge. I used chain yank because I had an orb for it, and why not? There's an extra orb outside, why not? So there you go, free demon kill, and congratulations, a little bit of extra money. Oh boy, exactly what I need. Because, I mean, God Hand gives me plenty of stuff, and I actually am pretty dang conservative with my money to the point where it's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot there was an RPG around here. Holy moly, I forgot I had that damn thing. You could have used it if you wanted to on any of the group cities. You always can, but if you want to play the same way that I do, which is very, very conservative about who I fight, and you know, at which time, then you can. Which time, get it? Because, you know, Platinum Games, they used to be Clover before, well, a lot of people from Clover moved over to Platinum Games, I think. Not that they became it, but, you know. Actually, I think this is a good spot to use the RPG for, because once these assholes spawn in, then just blast them with this. And hope to get at least 2 out of the 3 kills. And then, you know, there's that. Bear in mind that the RPG handle, well, why am I being dumb? You know what I mean? Like, when you can use it as a melee weapon, it's not really the most effective melee weapon. It will break pretty easily. And as you saw there, it was just enough to kill at least one of the ladies, but not really. Yeah, it's just how it works. It's got a good shot, the RPG shot. It's pretty powerful with that, but after that, you know, yeah. I'd say, honestly, fight her last. I'd say fight the guy on the left. Yeah, on the left, yeah. I'd say fight him first, because when you're fighting these enemies, they have that stupid ranged hat thing that comes back, by the way. It's a boomerang. But you can up-dodge it, yes, and you do get tension for it, I believe. However, it's one of those cases of I'd rather just not deal with them at a range at all, ever. And either way, I got unlucky enough, or whatever, just didn't get through, so it happens. It happens to the best of us, you know. Sometimes you just have things that happen that you don't want to have happen. But yeah, as if you have been keeping up with the guide itself, or just watching the videos in order or whatever, you should note by now that I'm pretty much just been doing the same type of combo potential stuff, or I've been doing the same type of combo thing where it's pretty much just punch twice, maybe even 3 times. Ooh, throwing a third one there every once in a while. Punch like at least 2 times, side dodge, or guard break into a side dodge, because I'm trying to basically get them to react to everything I'm doing. That's pretty much the main formula of God Hand that I typically do a lot of the time, is I'll always try to go for at least a guard break somewhere in there. And there's going to be a boss that's going to suck massive ass later, and it's the drum boss, where you're fighting the guitar guy and the drum guy at the same time. That drum boss is a pain to deal with. Oh, wow, 2-in-1 video. Man, aren't I lucky. Yeah, unfortunately I am. But thankfully, there's a red orb spawn right there that gives me 3 orbs, actually. So instead of wasting my God Hand to take out 1 demon, might as well just waste the orbs and kick his ass that way. Could have gone for Shockwave, but oh well. Either way, one of the coolest context-sensitive commands, or whatever you want to call them in this game, Poke of God. That is the coolest. That's the, unironically, that's actually really cool. One of my favorites, if you couldn't tell. I also love Pummel. Pummel's also a fun one. I'm a big, well, not big, Fist of North Star fan. I've read it once, ever, so I'm not that big of a fan of it, but I like it. Oh yeah, there you go. There's something you can do. You can do that back triangle thing, and you can activate the door, which can also hit him too, which is funny. So if you want to get the door broken fast, that'd probably be one way to do it. But I'm too busy just trying to focus on taking out this guy instead of doing anything, you know, in particular. But I would say, even though I'm not the biggest Fist of North Star fan, I'm definitely a pretty big JoJo fan. I like JoJo quite a bit, so, you know, there's that. I still haven't read past, I think, Chapter 1 of Part 9, though, but, because it was just coming out at the time, and I was reading it, and I'm like, I don't want to wait months for the thing to get done, so I'll just wait a little while before I start reading it again. I pretty much read and watched everything up to that point, so I'm caught up, don't get me wrong, but, yeah, and waiting for Part 7 to get animated, which I hope will be good. We'll probably get CGI horses, but, well, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So I'll just deal with whatever we get. Alright, once again, you got these 2 guys. You got an umbrella right there. Don't worry about using the umbrella as a weapon, because you will come back to this area, and it will pretty much just respawn. So if you're worried about, like, if you know ahead of time, like, oh, we have to come back here, which is true, don't worry about using it now, because it will stay. You can reuse it. You know, it's one of those things where I feel like the devs just probably didn't care about trying to take it out for realism or anything, or just were like, you know, it's an arcade game, who cares? So, I would wager a guess and say that most likely the devs were just generous enough to just say, screw realism. And I'm glad, you know, this is the type of game that deserves to not be realistic. I love stuff like this. I wish more games were like this, but not that every game, I don't wish every game was like it, but, you know, a good amount of them. I wish a good amount of them just took that fun to it. I'm pretty sure using Umbrella does not waste it. Anyway, that's it for this, so take care, everybody.